Our bodies are made of trillions of tiny building blocks called cells. These cells are so small that you can't see them with your eyes alone, but together, they make up every part of us, from our skin and muscles to our bones and organs. Each cell is a living, breathing unit working day and night to keep us alive and healthy. Without cells, life as we know it simply wouldn't exist. Think of them like miniature cities, each with a specific job. Just as a city has workers, roads, and power plants, a cell has its own workers and systems. Some cells are like factories, making the materials our bodies need. Others are like delivery trucks, transporting nutrients and messages from one place to another. Every cell is busy, and every cell has a purpose. Some cells help us move, like muscle cells that contract and relax so we can walk, run, or even smile. Some help us think, like the neurons in our brains that send signals and store memories. These specialized cells work together in harmony, allowing us to do everything from lifting a pencil to solving a puzzle. And some even fight off infections. Our immune cells are like tiny soldiers, always on the lookout for invaders like bacteria and viruses. When they spot trouble, they spring into action, protecting us from getting sick and helping us recover when we do. Just like any well-run city, cells have rules they follow. These rules help them know when to work, when to rest, and how to cooperate with their neighbors. If every cell followed its own rules, chaos would break out. But because they work together, our bodies stay organized and efficient. They know when to grow, when to divide, and when to retire. For example, when you get a cut, cells nearby know to start dividing and multiplying to heal the wound. When a cell gets old or damaged, it knows to step aside so new, healthy cells can take its place. This constant cycle keeps us strong and helps us recover from injuries. This ensures that our bodies function smoothly and stay healthy. When all the cells do their jobs correctly, our organs work as they should, our skin heals, and we feel our best. It's a delicate balance, and every cell plays a part in keeping it. These rules are written in a special code inside each cell called DNA. DNA is found in the nucleus, the control center of the cell, and it holds all the instructions a cell needs to do its job. This code is unique to each person, making you who you are. DNA is like a giant instruction manual that tells the cell what to do. It contains thousands of genes, each one giving directions for a different task, like building proteins, repairing damage, or responding to signals from other cells. Without this manual, cells wouldn't know how to function. It's important that the instructions in this manual are clear and correct. If there's a mistake in the DNA, it can cause problems for the cell and sometimes for the whole body. That's why our cells have special tools to check and fix their DNA, making sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. Deep within our bodies, every single cell contains a remarkable set of instructions. It's DNA. This DNA is like a master blueprint, a detailed manual that tells the cell how to grow, function, and interact with its neighbors. It's what makes us who we are, from the color of our eyes to the way our bodies heal after an injury. But as complex and resilient as this code is, it's not immune to mistakes. Sometimes, as cells divide and copy their DNA, tiny errors can slip in. These errors are called mutations, and while many are harmless, some can have profound consequences. These mistakes, or mutations, can change how a cell behaves. Imagine a single letter in a long instruction manual being swapped for another, or a sentence being deleted altogether. Sometimes the cell can fix these errors thanks to built-in repair mechanisms. But if the damage is too great, or if the repair system fails, the mutation can become permanent. Over time, these changes can add up, subtly altering the way a cell works. Our bodies are constantly working to protect our DNA. Specialized enzymes patrol the genetic code, searching for mistakes and fixing them before they cause harm. But this system isn't perfect. Sometimes the damage is too severe, or the repair process itself goes awry, leaving behind a flawed instruction. Imagine spilling coffee on an instruction manual, making some words unreadable. Suddenly, the instructions become confusing or incomplete. The cell, like a person trying to follow a damaged manual, may start to make mistakes in its daily tasks. It might build the wrong proteins, or forget to stop growing when it should. Mutations can happen randomly, simply as a result of normal cell division, but they can also be triggered by outside forces. Exposure to harmful substances like tobacco smoke, ultraviolet rays from the sun, certain chemicals, or even some viruses can damage DNA. These agents, known as carcinogens, increase the risk of mutations that can lead to cancer. Even our environment and lifestyle choices play a role in how often our DNA is damaged and how well our bodies can repair it. For example, when we spend too much time in the sun without protection, ultraviolet light can break the bonds in our DNA, causing errors. Smoking introduces chemicals that directly attack the genetic code. Some viruses, like HPV, can insert their own genetic material into our cells, disrupting normal functions. Each of these factors increases the chances that a cell will accumulate dangerous mutations. When a mutation affects a gene that controls cell growth, a single cell can start to change. Normally, our cells are tightly regulated. They grow, divide, and die in a carefully choreographed dance. But if a mutation disrupts the genes that act as brakes or accelerators for cell division, the balance is lost. The cell may begin to divide uncontrollably, ignoring the signals that keep our tissues healthy and organized. Picture one cell with a tiny error in its DNA. At first glance, it looks just like its neighbors. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. But inside, something fundamental has changed. This cell starts to ignore the usual signals that tell it when to stop dividing. It no longer follows the rules that keep our bodies healthy. Instead, it begins to act independently, as if it's no longer part of the community of cells that make up our tissues. The cell's appearance slowly changes. It may grow larger, its shape becomes irregular, and its nucleus glows with unusual activity. Under the microscope, scientists can see these changes. The cell's boundaries blur, its internal machinery becomes chaotic, and it starts to divide more rapidly than its neighbors. Each time it divides, it passes the same mutation to its daughter cells, creating a growing family of abnormal cells. Over time, these abnormal cells accumulate, forming a small cluster. This cluster is different from the healthy tissue around it. It grows faster, ignores the body's signals to stop, and may even begin to invade nearby areas. The once orderly neighborhood of cells is now disrupted by this unruly group, which continues to expand, unchecked. Soon, a small cluster of abnormal cells forms, a tiny mass that stands out from the healthy tissue around it. This is the earliest stage of what could become a tumor. At this point, the abnormal cells may still be contained, but if they continue to grow and acquire more mutations, they can become even more dangerous. Sometimes, the body's immune system recognizes these abnormal cells and tries to destroy them. But cancer cells are clever. They can develop ways to hide from the immune system, or even suppress its response. As the abnormal cluster grows, it may begin to invade surrounding tissues, breaking through boundaries that normally keep cells in their proper place. This is how a single mutation, in the right gene at the wrong time, can give birth to a cancer cell. From one tiny error in the DNA, a cascade of changes can unfold, altering the course of life within the body. Understanding this process is the first step in finding ways to prevent, detect, and treat cancer. By protecting our DNA, repairing damage, and stopping abnormal cells before they can grow out of control. If a mutation affects the genes that control cell growth and division, the cell might start to grow out of control. It's like the cell has forgotten the rules and is now acting on its own. This rogue cell starts to divide rapidly, creating copies of itself with the same faulty instructions. Soon, a group of abnormal cells forms a tumor. As the tumor grows, it can invade nearby tissues and organs, disrupting their normal function. It's like a city overrun by criminals, causing chaos and destruction. Our bodies are equipped with remarkable defense mechanisms, constantly working behind the scenes to protect us from threats, including the development of cancer. Every day, our immune system patrols our tissues, searching for cells that look or behave abnormally. When it detects these rogue cells, it springs into action, launching a complex and coordinated attack to eliminate them before they can cause harm. The immune system is truly extraordinary. Specialized cells like T cells and natural killer cells are able to recognize certain markers on the surface of cancer cells, allowing them to target and destroy these dangerous invaders. This process is happening all the time, often without us ever knowing it. In many cases, our immune system successfully eliminates cancer cells before they have a chance to multiply or spread. However, cancer cells are incredibly cunning. Over time, they can develop ways to hide from the immune system, disguising themselves as normal cells, or releasing signals that suppress the immune response. This ability to evade detection is one of the reasons why cancer can be so difficult to treat. It's almost like a game of hide and seek, with cancer cells constantly adapting to stay one step ahead of our body's defenses. That's why understanding how cancer cells are born, grow and change is absolutely crucial. By studying the earliest moments of a cancer cell's life, scientists can uncover the tricks these cells use to survive and thrive. This knowledge gives us a window into the very origins of cancer, helping us to predict how it might behave and how best to stop it in its tracks. With this deeper understanding, doctors and researchers are able to develop new strategies for both preventing and treating cancer. They can identify people who might be at higher risk, create screening tests to catch cancer earlier, and design therapies that are more effective and less harmful. Every discovery brings us closer to a future where cancer is no longer a life-threatening disease. This research also leads to the development of smarter, more targeted drugs. These new treatments are designed to attack cancer cells specifically, leaving healthy cells unharmed. By focusing on the unique features of cancer cells, scientists can minimize side effects and improve outcomes for patients. It's a powerful example of how knowledge can be transformed into hope and healing. By learning more about the birth and behavior of cancer cells, we empower ourselves to fight back against this disease. Every breakthrough in understanding brings us closer to new solutions, better treatments, and healthier lives for people everywhere. The more we know, the stronger our fight against cancer becomes.